Ladies and gentlemen, I'm really grateful, very happy, of course, to come your way again. I can see how the protest is going, and I hope you joined in the protest. Yes, we must let Nigeria understand that, yes, Biafrans, they have totally rejected any further, disgrace, further, mistreatment and maltreatment, further marginalization, and further disrespect. We think it's about time the government, the JAGABAN, paid attention to issues concerning Biafra. Especially we condemn in all totality, in all its forms, and in every ramification, the continued uh, lack of consideration, insensitivity to the plight of Mazen Nnamdi and his wealth challenges. We find no excuse. It is totally inexcusable for the government to continue to engage in rigmarole, to continue to claim and make counterclaims that Mazen Nnamdi health is claim that his health is in jeopardy, is a ruse, is a lie from the pit of hell. We totally condemn, and we must make it be heard all over the mass media, the social media, that we don't think this insensitivity from the government will be tolerated by anybody whatsoever. No Biafran again will be disrespected by this kind of claims, counterclaims coming from the JAGABAN and the special advisors and people in his authority. We say with every full vehemence that somebody like Chief Joe Ibokwe, the APC stalwart, who was quoted as saying that Mazen Nnamdi was lying about his health, was a manipulator and a deceiver, that his claim that his health was bad, was in any way endangered, was a lie from the pit of hell. We say people like Chief Joe Ibokwe, this kind of people have sold their inheritance to the devil. They have sold their souls to the devil. They are completely irresponsible, useless leaders who are always only interested in AGIP, any government in power. This is a man that his people have never told thank you all their life. You have been supporting the APC back to back now for over 20 years. For over 20 years, and you have nothing to show in your constituency. It's not the boreholes that you drilled, it's not roads that you completed, it's not a rehabilitation effort you did, it's not even employment that you gave your community. Such people are arrant wasted generation, useless, completely inept, clueless leaders who have nothing to offer but continue to hobnob with any government in power. Chief Joe Ibokwe, I thought you were a credible person. I thought you had, something up. I thought you were a leader that anybody could have counted on. But unfortunately, condemning Mazen Nnamdi, especially at his hour of need, is the highest, most irresponsible and insensitive thing you have ever done. Shame, Chief Joe Ibokwe, and the likes of you who have sold their conscience because of a meal of porridge. How much did the JAGABAN give you? How much did Emilio give you to make you sell your birthright? Shame, Chief Joe Ibokwe. Ladies and gentlemen, for the purpose of this audio, I want to finally declare to every one of us, let every one of us know that our alien leader, Mazen Nnamdi, has finally made a choice. He has made a choice of who would represent him at any dialogue, at negotiation with the JAGABAN, with the Nigerian authorities. Yes, he is of Biafran origin, and of course, his health is compromised, and this trial and mistrial that is going on has had a toll on him. Of course, he cannot be, negotiating under the DSS confinement in a dungeon. No, he needs someone. He needs an able representative. He needs a good negotiator. And ladies and gentlemen, I want to make it a breaking news to us that finally Mazen Nnamdi has chosen, yes, he has chosen Obi Agwacha. Yes, Agwacha, a member representing Ikwano, Umuahia North, Umuahia South Federal constituency of Abia State in the House of Representatives, to interface with the Nigerian authorities on his behalf. Ladies and gentlemen, in case you didn't hear that, Mazen Nnamdi, yes, who is in the middle of all the protests, nationwide protests, international protests all over the world. Yes, the protest that has garnered, traction all over the social media and all mass media, has chosen a member of the House of Representatives representing Ikuano, Umuahia North, Umuahia South Federal Constituency of Abia State, the House of Representatives, Mr. Obi Agocha, to represent him and to be the chief negotiator on his behalf. Let's get into the story, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see what has happened. Why did Mazen Nnamdi decide to, honor this gentleman with this very powerful responsibility? Let's go into it, ladies and gentlemen. Fellow freedom lovers, you're welcome. Yeah. The leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, bracket, Nnamdi has named Obi Agocha, a member representing Ikuano, Umuahia North, Umuahia South Federal Constituency of the Abia State in the House of Representatives, to interface with the Nigerian government on his behalf. This was contained in a letter signed by Kanu'S led counsel, Aloy Ejimako, addressed to Agocha. In the letter titled "Read, Letter of Authority to Interface with the Federal Government on behalf of Mazen Nnamdi," the lawmaker was mandated to address the issue of Kanu'S detention. It reads, "We are solicitors to Mazen Nnamdi, in bracket, hereafter our client, on whose behalf on firm instruction we write this letter conveying the following to you. That you are hereby authorized by our client to approach the federal government with a view to resolving the matter of our client's continued detention, prosecution, and all issues related thereto. That in your interactions with the federal government, you shall have the free hand and authority to exercise your discretion and independent judgment to decide what is in our client's best interests." The letter further stated that during his interaction with the federal government, the lawmaker should seek political solutions and the end of Kanu'S trial. In particular, you have the authority of our client to approach and engage the federal government with a view to seeking a political solution to the matter of his release from detention and discontinuance of his prosecution. You shall work in close collaboration and coordination with the undersigned council on all your engagements with the government. While thanking you for your commitment to this task, please be assured of our client's abiding respect for your person and high office. If you need any further information, please do not hesitate to contact the undersigned. He added, yes. Chief Aloy Ejimako, yes, that's the prosecuting officer, legal attorney for Mazen Nnamdi. Ladies and gentlemen, that was the letter that was sent to Obi Agocha, representing Ikuano, Umuahia North, Umuahia South Federal Constituency in Abia State. Ladies and gentlemen, you can see that he has been given the mandate. He has been authorized, given what it takes, the fillip, if you like, to negotiate on behalf of Mazen Nnamdi. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not in any way showing cowardice. This is not in any way giving up his rights and privileges. It is not in any way shielding from the reality of the protest or in any way the drive to achieve sovereign, independent United States of Biafra. No, it is merely the fact of the reality that you must start from known to unknown. You must negotiate from the center. You must be within to negotiate for the outside. And Obi Agocha is already inside. He's the deputy Speaker of the House, and he has been mandated to do what he ought to do on behalf of our Mazemon leader, Nnamdi Kanu. Ladies and gentlemen, you can all recall in recent time the fracas that happened in the House, where a member of the House of Representatives came up and said, I want to talk about the continued incarceration of Nnamdi Kanu and his health challenges. I want to know why the House is silent when Nnamdi Kanu has been telling the whole world about his health condition, the urgency for him to be transferred to either the National Hospital Abuja or to an international hospital abroad for proper medical attention. Are you guys saying you're not watching the news? If you're not watching the news, I know, are you not reading the tabloids? If you're not reading the tabloids, are you not on social media? Why is the leadership of the House of Representatives, why are you playing deaf ears? Why are you not giving us the opportunity to x-ray this situation and find immediate cure for it? Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, tried everything he could to shut down, to shut up, and to repeal any such discussions. But the gentleman, the Deputy Speaker, insisted, no, I have every right. I need this matter discussed. The Nigerian people need to know why is it that when it comes to anything pertaining to the Biafra, to the Southeast, everything is done to sweep it under the carpet. I mean, we are left to suffer, in crisis, in difficulties, while every other region is left treated with, kid gloves, soft gloves. Why is this the case with us? Why should it be this way? Ladies and gentlemen, you can imagine that the total plenary in the House was disrupted completely. There was nothing else because of the hula baloo, because of the, tempestuous relation in the House. Of course, there were arguments and upon arguments. There were accusations upon accusations. There were all kinds of entries going on. And yet, the gentleman stood his ground and said, no, we must indeed listen to. Yes. Eventually, when the Deputy Speaker, came in and said, look, Mr. Speaker, I think this man has the merits of his case. If you're saying the time is inappropriate, the timing is inappropriate, or that he shouldn't use this opportunity, he should go through other means, then we'll have to do that. Give us a few days more. And so that was when peace returned after a tumultuous time argument in the House. Ladies and gentlemen, this House of Reps member, Obi Agocha, was the one who moved that motion inside the House. He was the one who disrupted all activities in the House. He made sure the House could not do any plenary, could not sit, could not move, could not achieve anything until it was confirmed that Nnamdi Kanu's matter will be vigorously discussed within next week. So, ladies and gentlemen, this man, this brave Biafra, this man from Umuahia, almost the same area of our Mazemon leader, Nnamdi Kanu, is in our news today, is a brave man. And as if to compensate him and to thank him for a job well done, our Mazemon leader, Nnamdi Kanu, has written to him to say, look, my bro, I think you should be my negotiator henceforth. Yes, tell them, keep telling them. Tell them what Biafra is all about. Tell them that I will not give up the struggle. My life depends on it. Tell them that the sufferings of our people is enough. Tell them that whether they like it or not, Biafra has come to stay. Tell them that if they don't give us they don't listen to our peaceful protest, then they make violent protest inevitable. Tell them, Obi Agocha, yes, Nnamdi Kanu may be incarcerated. Biafrans are not incarcerated. Tell them that Biafra does not know personality. Biafra is not about any individual. It is not individually based. Biafra is a people, their ambition, their hopes, their aspirations. That is what Biafra is all about. That is what Biafra is. Tell them, Obi Agocha, that Biafra lives and the struggle continues until victory is achieved. Tell them, House of Reps member Obi Agocha, tell them that you have the backing of Onyendu Nnamdi Kanu. Yes, tell them you have the backing of Biafrans. Tell them that Yahweh is with you all the way. That is the mandate being given today, ladies and gentlemen, to Obi Agwacha. Obi Agwacha is, like I said, is Speaker representing, House of Reps member representing Ikuano Umahia North South constituency in Abia State. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it to him. He is today, an anointed of our Biafra leader, Mazen Nnamdi. So, ladies and gentlemen, you have read the letter. This is not hearsay. The letter confirms it. It is not dubious. It is not fake. It is real. Mazen Nnamdi has appointed this man to represent him. Be a negotiator. You are already in the house. Don't be like the governors of Anambra State who have continued to pay lip service. Don't be like Ojikalo, yes, of the Bere dynasty, who has been in the Senate House back to back now over 25 years. Don't be like David Omaye, the works minister, former governor of Ebonyi State, who continues to dance naked in front of the JAGABAN because he wants to continue to enjoy in any government, largest from any government in power. Don't be like Hopus of the Morfimo State, who is always opening his mouth, saying fallacies, making false claims, that he spoke with the JAGABAN, that this is that, this is not that, claiming that Biafra is a thing of the past. These leaders are fake. These leaders will be eventually dealt with. They will face consequences eventually. No. Obi Agwacha, yes, Mazen Nnamdi say, tell the JAGABAN, yes, you think you have all the power. You think Nigeria is you're an emperor over Nigeria. You think nothing can stop you come 2027. You are thinking you own Nigeria as your personal property. You better beware. Others before you had the same agenda. Others before you had the same convictions. But where are they today? There was a time Babangida Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida, head of state, transited himself and translated himself, the civilian president, and he was looking towards being a live president. Of course, he never succeeded. He didn't succeed. Today, he's living like a disabled man in his mansion at Niger State, in Mina. A mansion, he can only stay in the boys' quarters, downstairs. He can't move to the prestigious rooms upstairs in his 50-man mansion. That's where he is. That was the man who thought he was an emperor. He wanted to be a lifelong president. Ditto to Sani Abacha. Sani Abacha came on. Of course, he thought this was it. This was his chance to remain as the president of Nigeria. He did all he could. Of course, did everything he could. Orchestrated all manners of drama and misdramas. He executed those he wanted to execute, killed all he wanted to kill, did all he could, thinking he would remain there forever. Where is he today? He died in infamy. He died in it so infamously in the hands of sudden death. Excuse me. Ditto to all those who aspired to be life presidents. Where are they today? Where are they today? Even your so-called brother, Olusegun Obasanjo, who was the military head of state, eventually became the civilian head of president. Eventually, he wanted to do a third term. But of course, all those ambitions were checkered by vigilant and responsive leaders. Now it is your turn, and you are being deceived. You are naked, and your apologists, your governors, your supporters are telling you are clothed in the best of robes. Amen. Our king has gone mad. We all know the stories of what happened in that novella, that very, very prominent, that powerful write-up. Our king has gone mad again. When the king came out naked, he was asking his advisors, asking his leaders, people like David Omaye, people like Professor Soluma Tukudo, people like Hope Uzodinma, people like Odikalo, people like Chief Joey Bukwe, all of them put together. He was asking them, how do you think I look? Of course, they all looked at the president. They looked at the king. They saw he was naked. They saw he was stark naked on his birthday clothes, the very thing he wore when he was born, stark naked, shamelessly naked, gruesomely naked, and in an act of the highest level of betrayal, the highest level of unstatesmanship, these advisors, these governors, this House of Reps members, these political juggernauts looked at the derailed king, demented king, and they told him, sir, you are dressed in one of the best attires in the world, and you are looking better than any emperor the world has ever produced. Go on out and address your people. You are looking great. And of course, the king, the king was deceived. The king, unfortunately, psychotic and paranoid, he walked out naked, and the whole world, his whole empire saw him as a king that had become mad again. And his foolishness and everything, he was eventually consumed by the inferno of the people's, the people eventually threw him away, made away with him, dealt with him, because of course he was a mad, demented man, and of course he was clueless, and everything that accompanied him, including his advisors, including his followers, including his acolytes and accolades, all of them, his associates, were completely defeated and destroyed. That was the end of the king who was mad. Ladies and gentlemen, the JAGABAN is being deceived by this quota of leaders, governors, senators, all of them put together. They are deceiving him, and they has continued to, orchestrate all kinds of wickedness against the Biafran people. He has continued to, uphold the trial and mistrial of Nnamdi Kanu. He has continued, to allow Justice James Kolawole Omotosho and his likes and his quota of the chief justices and justices of High Court to continue to try an innocent man who has been acquitted by law courts. Ladies and gentlemen, Obi Agwacha has been selected, appointed as the chief negotiator for Nnamdi Kanu. I believe with this protest going around, with the whole country boiling at a melting point now, I believe the JAGABAN would list it. Forget his councillors. Forget the council of his fake governors and fake friends, fake leaders, fake special advisors, and fake people like Chief Joe Ibukwe, who had encouraging the king and the JAGABAN to dance naked in the public. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to rush back to the protest. We're already here, Eagle Square. We're going round and round. I hope it's happening in your area. This is the time to teach the world that Biafra has come to stay. Biafra is no longer something in the mind. It is a reality. And everything must be done to articulate, to establish, and to ensure that the redeclared sovereign United States of Biafra is a reality and it achieves its momentum. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We pray for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. He will get well. He will be released unconditionally. He has done no wrong. We're also praying for Simon, whose appeal has started vigorously. We know the international lawyers of great repute are working for him. Any moment now, the good news will spread out. We know Finland is already shaking. They are not expecting what they are getting. They are surprised to see the JAGABAN, a Milocon, to hear that Nigeria, the zoo, it has protests, massive protests, involving several presidential candidates, involving two-time serving Atiku Abubakar, who was the vice president, involving a whole lot of people. People of House of Reps, people from Senate, people on intelligence in Nigeria. The elite are here now. International bodies are here. The 47th president of America is watching. Finland is trembling on his knees. Along the Alexander Stubbs, you are going to vomit all that you are given to you. You are going to vomit everything you got. Yes, from the backhand, every manipulations, every gifts, every mobilization, every bribery you got from the JAGABAN, you are going to vomit it. This is your Waterloo. Simon Ekpa will teach you a lesson. Next time you don't compromise justice, fairness, and equity because of a mega meal of porridge. That's what you did, and the whole world is watching. Ladies and gentlemen, let's see how it goes. Support our able, indefatigable Dr. Ngozi Raboeze. Listen to her broadcast, cheer her up, give her every encouragement. All hands must be on deck to move Biafra forward. God bless you all. Take care and God bless.
Yeah, check me out. Superstars Media. Lord Logan. Bloomington, Lord Logan. And it's why Flora show. 1914 amalgamation is what we dying for. 3 nations to 1 nation. Ever since annihilation, nepotism is nonsense. You and you, clap your hands. Biafra gonna come, clap your hands. Biafra, Oduduwa, we're free now. Freedom is gonna come, we're free now. Yeah.